Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to JCI Radio Philippines. I'm honored to have with us right here Mr. Alexander Teo. He is the World Vice President. Welcome to JCI Radio, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much for inviting me to this show. And I very much, it's been a very good experience for me in Philippines.
Okay, was this the first time that you went to the Philippines?
2011 ASPAC Manila. That's when I first came to Philippines.
All right, so was it memorable for you to be here?
It's one of the most unforgettable ASPAC.
All right, all right. So, with how many, as the world, let's start with your goals. Okay, so as the world vice president, what are your main goals for your term?
Well, this year, our strategic planning committee, uh, this year, as our strategic planning committee dictates last year, our plans for the next 5 years is to spread and to implement our SPC, which is invest, impact, motivate, invest, collaborate, connect. So
Okay.
that is the message that we are passing to our members all around the world. And to start, 2014 is the year of impact.
Okay.
So this year we will be focusing on how our norms can impact their communities, and this we actually came out with an index to calculate the ratings of all the norms, and it will be called the impact index. So this year we are promoting all our chapters to all our norms to be able to achieve an index rating of at least 1,
One.
which means index rating is equals to the number of projects, impact projects divided by number of norms.
Okay.
So this year we're trying, let's say, for a national organization with four local chapters, they would have to have at least 4 impact projects in order to
Okay.
have the index of more than 1.
So
Yes.
the four projects are like how what are the interval? Do you do it quarterly or
Well,
simultaneously?
it can be anytime. As for example, we take JCI Philippines. JCI Philippines have about 160, I believe, 150, and then that means that JCI Philippines have to be able to have 160 impact projects
Okay.
to report in 2014. If you talk about interval, then that means there have to be a project every 2 days.
Oh, that's quite tough.
Yeah, but
That's quite tough. But are they willing to go
Well,
for the challenge there?
that is what we are spreading, because by having more impact projects, this will increase the awareness of JCI around the world.
Yeah.
And the awareness towards the community will be permanent, because they did not see it on a sign, they did not hear it from friends, but the communities will feel the real impact that JCI has done in their community. And therefore, when the brand gets to them, they will remember JCI even better.
All right. That sounds a good plan. Maybe we could implement that here also in the Philippines. to one project in every 2 days. Maybe yeah. We if all of us could work together, maybe that's possible also. And um, you're coming here to the Philippines, and how's the trip so far?
Well, it's been fun. It's been amazing, and I have JCI Philippines again and again has amazed me, touched me, and I'm proud to be assigned to JCI Philippines with such robust national organization, local organizations, with passionate local presidents, with members that are just bursting with energy, bursting with JCI passion. I'm proud to be assigned to the JCI Philippines.
Well, did you have expectations coming here to the country?
Uh, Not really. I've heard how energized JCI Philippines was, but they went over my expectation.
All right.
Really went over my expectation.
Okay, so let's talk about. I think yeah, you've been here for a couple of days.
Mm.
Yesterday, I saw some pictures on Facebook. I knew you the moment I saw you because you were posting pictures all around Facebook. And how's your trip? I think you were in Batangas
Yes. Yes.
yesterday. How's
Yes.
the trip there?
Well, we went to the Lipa City, and then after that, we went to some projects, and I think they are very again. There's nothing less than energy I felt,
Okay.
even in Lipa, even in Batangas, and I have a wonderful experience of the JCI National Organization Board of Directors meeting. It was excellent. It was excellent.
And today, you just
Mm.
went to Tacloban.
Yes.
So how do you find? Of course, you saw in the news what Tacloban looks like after the storm,
Mm.
after the typhoon. How now you're there?
Mm.
How did you find the damage in Tacloban?
Well, natural disasters are always not a pretty sight, and to me, I felt the grief, but because this is not my first time doing this,
Mhm.
we had a similar disaster in my country, and but I am glad to see that the people of Tacloban are working together to rebuild their town, and
Okay.
especially with our really passionate and forward-thinking past national president of JCI Philippines, Mr. Jim there, and he has done a lot for his town, and I can see that with JCI presence there, I believe the town will get back to its own feet again in very short time.
Well, you said to us that this was not the first time. When was the last time that you saw such disaster?
Well, we had the same tsunami back in 2004 in
Mm.
Indonesia,
Okay.
and in fact the scale was 5 times what it was in Tacloban. It was the death count was the death count that we did was about 80,000. In the media it was about
80,000.
100,000. Yeah,
Okay.
and our tsunami went well over 6-7 meters height of water, and the whole town was just, imagine a town washed by detergent,
Okay.
you know. But when I was in Indonesia at that time, and I believe this is also the case for Tacloban, um, when I first went to Aceh in 2004, the first week after, I went there 2 times. Within the first month I was there 2 times. When I was there the third day, the town was filled with flash sense of death everywhere, and of course it's not a pretty sight. I'm sure it's the same
Yep.
thing in Tacloban.
Yeah.
And then but then we do a lot of things. We clean up the town, and then 2 weeks later when I go back again to Aceh, one thing, and this is always the case, behind every disaster there's always a light of hope,
Yeah.
right? And when I went back there, I see that the town has been cleaned up.
Okay.
It seemed to me at that time, my impression was the town has been cleaned up, and there's a new hope for people to rebuild and recreate into a better town, into a more efficient town, even better mentality people, and that's what I hope too for Tacloban now, that the city can be rebuilt into something cleaner, something better, and with people with better mentality
Yeah.
towards each other,
Yeah.
and that's where GCI can come in.
Yeah.
And if GCI Tacloban can have that mindset and can spread the words about JCI and have everybody in that city thinking about creating positive change, I'm sure Tacloban will be a very great city in the future.
Yeah, actually,
And
there are talks that they're trying to convert Tacloban to the New Orleans of the Philippines in a few years, but hopefully it happens. But of course, in your country, JCI had a good impact over the tsunami victims.
yes.
What were the steps in for positive change during that time?
Well, we had a good impact, yes, but then there are also some downside, and I do not hope that happen to Tacloban. Um, when it happened in Aceh, of course, all the American reliefs were there, ADB were there, Red Cross, you name it, every single NGO in the world is there. And sadly enough, that creates a negative impact on the people. The people become lazy.
Okay.
And a lot of people in this disaster area becomes beggar.
They tend to like
Uh,
rely on the relief
yes,
goods.
yes, and then they abuse it. And in fact, some even turn it into a tourist location, and they refuse to even rebuild because knowing that without rebuilding that this can sell. And
Yeah.
that is the unfortunate fact that I do not wish to see in Tacloban. And I hope that people of Tacloban do realize this, that we have to think of what to come, the positive future that's about to come.
So it's like what you're saying to us here is that once we get to Tacloban, we should teach them how to fish also.
Yes, instead of giving them fish,
Correct.
we should teach them how to farm instead of giving them food. We should, and if we want to clean up the town, we would give them work to do, not clean up for them.
That's good.
Yeah, because once we do it for them, and it's a basic behavior of human being. When something can be taken for granted, they will take it for granted. Anyone. So let's not do that. Let's put more positive impact to the people, not by, sometimes we talk about like this morning we have an event where we go feed the children.
Yeah.
And it's been going on for about 6 months. I know it's a great project. JCI Tacloban has a great projects where they get mercy rice and they cook and they distribute it. But think about it, it's been 6 months, every 2 weeks. And these people wanting more and more and more. So when does it stop? Do we feed them forever? Is that sustainable? No, it's not sustainable.
That is where the training and impact comes in. Is that we look for sustainable
Yes.
sustainable
And
impact.
that's why when we ask the whys, and the whys, and then the and I'm glad that the chapter president realized this, and that hopefully that instead of cooking for these people, she can make the people cook for themselves.
Yeah.
So by her providing the place to cook, by having their people, the mothers that are there, the women that are there, to help her cook for their children anyway. Just now I was there, I saw some mothers even trying to help their children with the plates to get more food. And I was thinking that maybe for the next project they would have to teach the mothers how to cook instead of just
Yeah.
to eat.
So, all right, those are actually very good ideas. Thank you for sharing. And let's backtrack now on your history in JCI. So we'll take you back to the
But
take you
before
a time machine here.
before we took that right through the time machine, I would like to add my respect, my salute to the seniors of JCI Philippines, to Senator JV, for example,
Yeah.
past national president, and he has been supporting JCI Philippines, and I have a chance to talk to him yesterday, and I envy JCI Philippines to have such supportive and very strong, passionate senator behind JCI Philippines, and today also past national president Jim and all the seniors, they are really passionate in helping JCI Philippines to grow. And also another thing, today we had a good meeting with the governor, and we finally found to a place of agreement where how JCI can help be the organization that that unites all sectors of society, and that how, for example, just now, the governor was talking about helping the farmers grow seedlings, where JCI already have the seeds. So just now there was a very good conversation on how JCI and NGOs that provide the seeds, and also the governors that can help turn these seeds into seedlings. And this is a perfect example on our new theme, which is that JCI, our new goal in 2030, where JCI will be the organization that unites all sector of society. And this is where, and this afternoon we saw that perfect example. And I hope that members out there, if you are watching this, I hope that you can use this example or hearing this example again and again, and create more and more partnerships with the governments, with the NGOs, with the private sectors, how we can come up with a sustainable solution that can create more positive change to our communities. And that's a little bit that I have to add, because I was so amazed of what happened yesterday and today.
That's so good to hear, by the way. That's so amazing to hear that. Yeah, that I'm sure the listeners who are also JCI members are flattered to hear that, and they will be more motivated to help that area.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so in addition to that, will we see you more come back here and help out the city of Tacloban?
Yes, actually, just now I made a commitment, and to the chapter president of JCI Tacloban, if what we had today, if the problem that we solved today with the governor, if she can come up with the project that really impact the Tacloban society, or even the whole province society, I will be back. I shall return there.
That's good, and I hope you once again come and guest on JCI Radio Philippines, and maybe talk about the next experiences that you're gonna have here in the Philippines.
Definitely.
And now, can we go back to the time machine?
Okay, let's go.
All right, so let's go back to the first time that you were invited to a new members orientation, or how do you call it in your country?
Okay.
What were your expectations back then?
To be honest, I was actually rejected by JCI.
Okay.
The first time I tried to join JCI.
Okay, this is interesting. What were the reasons?
Okay. So that time, JCI in Indonesia in 2003, when I first came back from the States, 2003, JCI was a very sexy organization that a lot of people wants to join. But then at that time, JCI Indonesia was not really out there in the public, so we don't really know why we want to join, but we just want to join it.
It's
But
just
then,
for fun.
Yeah,
For
but
the
just
prestige.
for the sake of joining.
For meeting sexy people.
Whatever. Yeah,
Right.
and then when I tried to join, I was actually rejected by the local president, and then after that, through another chapter recommendations, I finally got in. But at that time, the first time I really experienced JCI was when I found a local problem in our community, and I solved it without realizing that this can align to JCI. And because throughout the years, I've me through my own company, through other organizations, I've always been doing a lot of projects,
Okay.
charity projects, community.
So
projects.
you were like a JC before you became a JCI member.
So but then after that, even I joined JCI, I did not really consider those as JCI projects. I just do because, to be honest, I just feel like doing it. That's the way I am. So when I want to do something, when I want to do execute a community projects, I just do it.
Okay.
And without even knowing that it was actually aligning to whatever. And then in 2008, 2009, I became project directors, and then in 2010 when I was in Singapore, ASPAC,
Okay.
that was when I first realized how JCI can do so much good to people. And then
It took a lot of time before.
yes, of course,
you
of
got
course, it was like 6 years I was in JCI and not realizing what it's all about. And of course, at that time, JCI Indonesia wasn't really promoting about ASPAC or international events, and this is one of the mistakes that was not that was performed. And then when I went to Singapore in ASPAC, it's when I realized what JCI Japan are doing, what JCI Singapore, Malaysia are doing, and how JCI Indonesia can be a part of it too. And that's when I realized that I've done so many projects on my own self and through my company or through other organizations that is so JCI. And that when we do things from the heart, and like in JCI Creed that service to humanity is the best work of life, and that's what I believe in. And so when I really joined ASPAC and then World Congress, and then
Went to Manila for the ASPAC here.
yeah, and of course at the end of that year in 2010, I was elected to be National Vice President for 2011 JCI Indonesia. And that's when I really took trainings, I went through everything, I read, and then of course when I was the Vice President, I'm assigned to two of the local organizations in Indonesia. And when I went to them and when I tell them stories, and when I guide them on how to be a better chapters, I realize that I can do simply more than just executing or creating or planning projects. I can actually motivate them to be better projects. And in fact, today those two chapters, JCI Solo and JCI Semarang, they are right now one of the best chapters in Indonesia. And I was a part of that before, and that's what kept me going on through the years. And one of the founder of JCI Solo is actually running for Indonesia's president next year.
Okay.
Republic of Indonesia's president next year, and he's probably gonna be the president. His name is Mr. Jokowi. And then after that, JCI Semarang, in short 4 years time, they managed to win, and this year they are going to be the first time hosting our national convention. For a new chapter, that's actually very hard, but they managed to do it because they start from a solid foundation. They start from proper constitutions. They start out from proper system. That's how they make it today. And then a little bit further, 2012, I was the National Executive Vice President. I was assigned to nine chapters at the time. And then again, I went to them, I motivate them. I was also in charge of Nothing But Nets. And somehow, one way or another, maybe through also the chapter presidents' hopes and dreams, carrying their hopes and dreams to be a better JCI Indonesia, I was actually running for the national president in 2013 last year. And then during my year, I realized that a tall building can never stand strong without a solid foundation.
Okay.
So my last year's theme in 2013 was a solid foundation. Of
So
course,
you started from the roots, from
Yes.
the basics.
yes, we rerouted everything.
Made it a good foundation, all the
Yes,
basics things.
Yes, we rewrote. In fact, we did not just amend the constitution, but we rewrote the whole constitution from scratch.
Wow.
And we
Okay.
learned from other norms, other national organizations, the good practices from other organizations, and because JCI Indonesia constitution has never been touched for the last 25 years. So people's needs change, times
Yeah.
change, culture change, things change. So um, at that time we needed a new system that can accommodate these young people. So I rewrote the constitution. I took all the best practices around the world, and I implemented it. So last year it was that, but solid foundation year was not just a solid constitution, but we start from solid efficiency program. We started from solid trainings and solid projects that creates real impact. And I also would like to share with you, in 2012, there was one project that really sticks to my heart, because at that time, professionally, I own an elevator company.
Okay.
So at that time, when I tried to sell escalators and elevators to the airport, I heard stories when I was in the office of the airport company. And stories about how they found babies and
Babies.
whatnot, yeah. And then after that, I got curious, and I went over and I asked, "What are you guys talking about?" And they told me how there were orphans
Okay.
left in the airport, and that these babies are actually for sale, and then how they are the result of rape cases of overseas mates in Arabs,
Okay.
and in overseas in countries even like Taiwan, Hong Kong, or even America, and I felt that it was not right. As a JCI member who understand the creed, who understand that we will be here to create positive change, and to me, it was not right. So I went over, I do my surveys, I do my needs analysis, and then we planned for a project and we executed it, and it was called the Airport Babies Project. So during my survey, saddening facts that these babies are left in the toilets in instant noodle boxes, and
That's so sad.
yeah,
I mean,
even one baby was left to die because the mother do not know what to do with the baby anymore. Because
okay.
if the mother bring the baby to the house in their home after they got back from work in Arab, and if the husband knows that she has a baby with another man, she will probably be killed. So out of no option, they just left the baby in the airport. And then after that, of course, there are people who make use of the situation, pick up the baby and sell them for $5,000, $4,000, $3,000 a piece. And at that time, I said, this is not right, because they are
Yeah.
not goods; they are
Yeah.
human beings. And then, therefore, me and I found partners, and we started this project. We increased the awareness. We adopt this baby, and then we up them for adoptions. We find good families for them, and this is also the motivation that I have to keep me going. Projects like this, projects that really impact the lives of people. You see, and then one thing or another, after my national presidency year, somehow
You're now
again,
going to the world, to the international stage. Just a quick description about what are the difference of serving your nation as a JCI member compared to now that you're doing it on an international scale.
I have the opportunity to motivate more people, and to me, it was amazing, because uh, upon my life, I always realized that we human beings, we live only for what, 80, 90 years, and then we don't know how heaven looks like. We
Okay.
don't know what hell looks like, right?
Of course.
We only know the description of it from a book
Of course.
written by men. So for me, what's more important is that when I passed away one day, I will not be hated. So in order not to be hated or not to be forgotten, we have to do good things.
Yes.
And
So
we
this
have to
you're
touch
already talking
more and
about
more
your
people.
legacy
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Mm.
and then that's why I found this job as a VP to be the chance of my life, to be able to go out and motivate people, to touch more people, and to help them create positive change in people's life. And the difference, I don't see any difference between serving my nation and serving internationally, because uh, more and in every day I meet more new people. I can create more impact in their life, and that's what kept me going on. So there's no difference between serving nationally or serving internationally. It's just serving. The key word is serve.
All right, that actually sums up everything that your JCI career. Now we learned about what your objective here is, your future plans in Tacloban, and your entire JCI career, by the way. And now, as we end the show, um, would you like to leave a message to the public? First of all, to the public about what JCI is.
As I said just now, JCI is an organization that will be an organization that unite all sectors of society. JCI will also be, again, like our vision, the leading global network of young active citizens. And we are here to provide development opportunities that empower young people to create positive change. And those words actually mean something when you go down and do it, when we all unite to impact in 2014.
All right. So to our fellow JCI members here in Manila, what is your message to them?
Create more positive change, unite to impact.
Right. Thank you so much, Sir Alex, and it's a pleasure to have you
Thank you.
here in
Thank you
Manila.
very much.
And
Thank you very
again,
much.
for those who are listening, we had here World Vice President Alex Teo, and again, JCI Radio Philippines will be right back.